All right, welcome to the debrief. It's Dave O'Neill here in Des Dowling's car. And we're travelling to beautiful Leongatha.
Dave, one of us has got you're making big money. You should buy a really nice car so when I get to your joint, I can go, let's take your car. Instead, we've both got shit cars.
Yeah, Hughes always goes, how much money do you earn? I tell him, he goes, and the rest, and the rest. I'm like, no, that's it. No rest. No, and the rest. What? Well, I don't know. I think he thinks everyone earns millions of dollars in the comedy world. But you know what it's like. You can be on a bill where there's a guy on the dole.
Yeah,
There's a guy earning 50 grand a year. There's a guy earning 200 grand a year. And there's a guy earning 2 million a year.
Yes.
Generally, the person on last is earning the most.
That's a good point. Yeah.
But what are we doing in Leongatha, Des? Inform me.
Just been booked for a night, Dave. I think it's just you and I. Finger food, 120 people in the hall. I think...
Cricket club?
Cricket club.
No,
but I'm a little bit vague on that.
That can be a bit...
Oh, no. They'll be fine, Dave.
Oh, no.
Leongatha, the heartland.
Love Leongatha. The last time I came here, I did a school benefit in this same hall. It's the Elderly Citizens Hall in Smith Street. Yeah, I remember it.
We could nearly just go to Elderly Citizens Halls now.
Oh, man.
Just as elderly citizens.
Well, I've always said my mum's nursing home, the age entry level is 55 plus.
Yeah, well, Gem Life out where we live is, my kids always point out that, Dad, you can go in there.
57 I am, so I could easily go in there. And as I say...
They've got a bowling alley.
Mate, I could be the king of that nursing home. They've got a bowling alley.
At Gem Life. It's not really nursing home. It's
like
a retirement village.
Village.
And there's very few people in there under 65, 70.
I've done gig in a retirement village. It's one of the best gigs I've ever done. I should have said I should have recorded my album here because I do a lot of stuff about it in the old days. And, I mean, they were not my parents' age, but
surely that's a circuit, Dave.
Oh,
you could do a show at 5 o'clock and be home by 9.
I just don't reckon the money would be that good.
No, but, right. It's all about the money, isn't it?
I think I did it for free. Yeah, and the rest, I did that gig for free, and they gave me a voucher to Grilled.
They gave you a super-sized pack of Depends.
Yeah. Some Viagra, some Depends.
Do you reckon there would be someone who deals Viagra at those joints? Like, there's someone who's got it.
Some bloke would have it.
Yeah.
I reckon. I don't know.
There's only one.
My worry about Viagra is the heart attack factor. Like,
yeah, well,
you got to get your heart tested before you can take Viagra. Someone told me. I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah.
Anyway, on my other podcast, somehow related, which to do with Glenn Robbins, that has more listeners than this one, Des.
Well, and I don't know. I've never been on that one.
But one of our topics was Viagra and something else. And we had an anonymous person on the line who'd taken Viagra. And he sounded a bit like this, and the rest. We kept saying, you are anonymous. That's right, I'm anonymous.
Impossible. Why didn't you put one of those effects like he was a kidnapper on one of those Liam Neeson films or something? That's what you needed.
Yeah. Well, his story was when he was dating, he thought he was in like Flint. He took a Viagra when he went to the toilet, and then he came back out, and the girl said, "I want to go home." And he's like, "No." So he drove.
I thought you were going to say he took it at the nightclub.
He drove her and his erection home, and then went back home. Anyway, Leongatha, yeah, no, Gippsland. I don't mind Gippsland.
No, I've got relatives up in Gippsland. They're always very nice.
My mum's family are from
Gippy.
No, Erica and Whyalla, above Maui, right up in the mountains. Right up in the mountains. My nana's dad claimed he used to steal horses for Ned Kelly.
Hang on, your nana's dad?
Oh, what do you mean nana's granddad? I don't know.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. What was nana's name?
She was a Dunstan, Hazel.
Hazel.
And the Dunstan, there is an oval. There's a Dunstan oval in Erica named after the Dunstan family. We've had a barbecue there, and I didn't think I said this to Nana at the time, but I thought, was Ned Kelly really outsourcing his horse stealing? All right, what was his brother's name? Steve, was it?
No, Steve Byrne, Ned Kelly, and
Jed. Was there a Jed in there? Now we've got to get some horses. Well, what? I know a bloke who can get... Well, we're thieves. Can't we get the horses?
Get onto Jim's horses.
Yeah, in terms of criminal activity, you'd think stealing a horse would be sort of low on the... In terms of what they ended up doing. And they rob banks, they kill people.
Yeah, but maybe it was like, you steal horses and people know you steal horses, so they know you have stolen horses.
This would be my great-great-grandfather. He was a bit of a character, so he refused to pay taxes. And then when the taxman came to his house in Erica, he said, they said, we're looking for, I don't know, Paul Dunstan. And he went, oh, no, mate, he's dead. I'll show you his gravestone. So
He'd had a fake gravestone, mate.
I don't know if he had a fake one, but he walked into the cemetery. So that's him over there, mate. He also, when he would come to Melbourne, travel on the train with a massive plastic bag or a paper bag full of tickets. And so the ticket guy would come and go, tickets? He goes, yeah, it's in here somewhere. I'll just get it. These were the great tricks of the trade.
Like they were hacks. Nowadays,
hacks. Life hacks.
When we had a plot at the Yarrawonga Cemetery, and my dad went down with my mum to look at where it was, and there was someone else buried there from our family, and there was only a bit left. And Dad said to Mum, lie down and check if you will fit. And she looked at him thinking he was joking, and he was serious. He wanted to lie down and measure up. Just measure up. He could have just...
Did he lie down? Did she lie down?
She refused to lie down. She's a very independent, strong woman. She was drawing the line at measuring up her own funeral
rehearsing for your death. And your mum's still alive.
She's very much still alive.
So is my mum.
And doing very well.
Well,
I've got a theory that...
Men go first, they need the rest?
Well, men...
Classic.
You meet a lot of men who went to war and saw atrocities. They seem to live a long and... I suppose you don't hear about the ones that don't. You only hear about the ones that do. But there's something that they've got some understanding of life or whatever. And women who've had lots of kids seem very, very tough. They seem to have a real fortitude, inner fortitude that they... And my mum's like that. Like she's just a tough old bird and had 6 kids and...
Yeah, but 6 kids, wow.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, no, mum's in the nursing home. Yeah, it's different generation, Des, different generation.
But the men don't last well in nursing homes, Dave.
No, Dad was never in one, but...
good. That's a blessing.
There's quite a few men in mum's one. People get boyfriends and stuff in there, it's hilarious. Yeah, mum's like, that's her boyfriend over there.
What do they don't swipe left, they open a door, or is that sort of the...
Yeah, I don't know I don't think there's a lot of romance. I think it might be holding hands, not the extent of it. Look, there's a sign for Jim's Test and Tag. We were just talking about Jim's.
I saw Jim's something else, Jim's Laundry. Like they do.
He does everything, but his main passion in life is, what is it? He's got some weird...
His religion?
No, it's like genes. He's got a weird... He funds research at La Trobe University into his ideas on genealogy or something weird. Like he's got a passion, Des. Not just for lawn mowing.
Well, it's not just lawn mowing. I rang their fencing people the other day because we needed a fence built, and they virtually told me, no, we're too busy. Just sent me a text message saying, you'll have to get someone else.
Yeah.
Quite rude too.
Don't tell. Jim's probably a big listener to this podcast.
No, I'm sure Jim is.
Anyway, Leongatha.
I think it'll be good. My prediction, Dave, it'll be okay. I've got a touch of indigestion, which I'm not enjoying, so we've tried to
and I've got
solve that.
Throat infection or something.
No.
I was in Perth for the Prospect Awards, they called it. And then I was in Hamilton Island.
Prospect as in Sons of Anarchy, like was it bikies?
Prospect. That was when you were last on this podcast, I believe. We saw the Prospect getting ice from the petrol station.
In Echuca, the Bandito. Was it Banditos?
They were Banditos, I think. We believed he had got the message wrong.
Get a bag of ice on your way back.
He went down the servo.
Yeah. I don't know if he's still in the band. I think he's now in the God Squad.
And he was an old man.
He was about our age, yeah.
Weird. That's a bit of a midlife crisis, isn't it? To say to your wife, sweetheart, I don't get shocked, but you're buying a sports car. You're leaving me.
No.
You're going to take up golf. No, I'm joining the Banditos.
And I need you to sit on the back of the bike and lift your T-shirt up when we drive past people.
But Monday night I was in Hamilton Island.
God, you've had a big week, Dave.
Oh man! And then Thursday night I was in Perth, so I'm actually.
We're all travelling, Dave.
I know you were in Bendigo last night. Whatever.
And Mildura. and Tamworth the week before, and got assaulted by a magpie.
That's incredible. That photo you sent me is incredible.
Bleeding furiously from the back of the head, but I still went on, Dave.
You still.
The show must go on.
The show.
Well, I had a couple of hours to sulk in my room and take a couple of headache tablets. There was no warning swoop, which I was really annoyed with. I thought there was some sort of...
I showed Kieran, my partner, the photo, and she was suggesting, maybe, was that an attack, or was that you just in the way?
No. It was a full-on attack.
Yeah,
there was no one else
attack.
around. It was straight into the back of it.
No, I hate that Des Dowling.
There was no warning swoop, and a bit like George Costanza and the Pigeons, I thought we had an agreement that they would at least let you know they were there, so you could take some sort of...
But I also thought swooping season was over.
Not in Tamworth.
Oh, God.
A lot of rain, too.
A lot of rain in Tamworth. Yeah, the floods. Anyway.
All right, Dave, well, let's reconvene on the way back.
The gig.
Will we be stopping at Macca's? You normally stop at Macca's on the way back.
I'm trying not to, but I put on weight, actually. I put on a bit of weight, but I'm going to lose a bit of weight.
All right.
My wife wants me to get a blood test and do a FODMAP.
Oh. I could drop you off 10 k's from home tonight. And
that'll do it.
What's a FODMAP?
FODMAP. Glenn Robinson's had it done.
And what is it?
They take a blood test and they work out what food is not good for you.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Because we're all different.
I know that we'll come back with no chips, no twisties, no chocolate, no
What
milk.
if they come back and say, look, keep off the vegetables and
red meat's very
protein,
good for you.
And get as much carb and sugar into you as you can, Dave.
Yeah, we think souvlaki's a good post 11 p.m. Yeah. Wow, this is amazing.
I'm just losing weight. I can't believe it.
Have you ever heard of McDonald's? Oh, my God. All right, we'll be back on the debrief.
Righto.
Lucky for you guys listening, you don't have to go to Leongatha and see us perform, or not that there's anything wrong with Leongatha, but you can just keep listening and we will return. We have to go through the whole process, me and Des.
Just adds to all that money you're making, Dave.
Oh,
and the rest.
And the rest. Oh, yes. All right, we're back on the debrief. We've done the Leongatha Cricket Club at the Elderly Citizens Hall. Des, how would you describe the gig in one word?
Chaotic, Dave, but good gig. We've met a lot.
Met a lot of friends.
Not often the majority of town folk get involved with the night, but there was a lot of yelling out and ad-libbing, and
they were great.
But it was a fun night. We met. There was Kanga.
Kanga on the sort of the senior table, you have to say. I think you described it as the AstraZeneca table.
The AstraZeneca, very strong whiff of AstraZeneca. And
the table of flannelette.
There was 4 blokes in flannelette shirts on one table.
They seemed to get more of them down the front.
Maybe they gathered to their group, but
and they just they didn't give a lot.
No, but now I could do without this rain day.
Oh my God! Put on the
there were those windscreen wipers.
Yeah, those windscreen wipers going. Yeah, and then there were like just random. There was a young apprentice called Levi who you met at another gig.
Another gig I did a couple of weeks ago, and he joined in, but almost too much in the end. Was putting his hand up for everything. Didn't matter what I asked. He said he'd done it.
He's got 5 kids. Levi's hand goes up, and then Levi's dad and mum were there.
Hick. And 3 women in leopard skin,
that
leopard
was
pattern
funny.
Tops. Even though they didn't plan it, and they were all sitting on the one table.
And the one bloke on the table who had a leopard skin hat. Well, they killed a leopard, and he got the leftovers.
They were a very good crew, though. It was a very good night, organised by Big Cam, and he did a good job. So
it was great. And Rhett, who talked to me afterwards, asked if we were going to do a debrief. So Rhett, big shout out to Rhett.
Big shout out to Rhett. And what did Hicks say when you asked him what he did locally?
He said, "I'm an entrepreneur."
You should have said spell it.
Yeah, that's... Mate,
an
entrepreneur, and I said, what, yeah, I said that means drug dealer, basically.
Jesus, Dave, has this cyclone got a name that we're driving through?
It's called the Hick. How do you get a name like Hick?
Well, I imagine...
As you said, that's an appropriate name for you.
I imagine his last name's Hickey or... Holy, I might have to slow down a bit, Dave. We might have to suspend the debrief and so I can fully concentrate on...
Yeah.
I don't want to kill an Aussie comedy icon.
Yeah, give us...
Right, give me the mic back.
Okay, here we go. Hang on. This is pause in the debrief. Listen to that rain. We are back. It's still raining, but it's not as bad.
Not as bad, Dave, but that was hairy. That was hairy.
Yes, and it is the debrief. Leongatha, yes, and they had an auction. Some of the items very country.
They
Des.
auctioned a tanker of water because we all need more water at the moment.
And
Water's in short supply.
and some cows.
Yeah, a couple of steers.
And some
steers, Dave.
And some concrete.
Concrete.
Concrete
Cows, concrete and water.
Concrete was going off.
Well, it's bloody expensive, concrete.
Yeah, I suppose so.
But anyway, it was a great gig. They're lovely, the people of Leongatha. Bumped into a bloke I went to school with.
Yeah, rock and roller. Shane, Gary, Sean, Craig, who drives the forklift in the timber yard.
Yeah. So he remembered me.
He was yelling at some random stuff.
He was out there.
He was trying to help out, I believe. The classic, I'm helping you out, boys.
Yeah.
Yell some stuff out.
Anyway, I think it was a good... your verdict, Dave, you were happy with it?
Oh, I was happy with it. It was good. Because, I mean, you're so good at crowd work. I've got to follow that, but I just did crowd work. I just came in the first 5 minutes, just kept listing all their names. But, yeah, we got Michelle, we got Kanga, we got... Then try and find some new people to...
I think you
that was funny. I mean, some of the big laughs... It's interesting. Some of the biggest laughs is from the crowd work. Like when you pointed out your mate from your school's boss who ran a hardware shop.
Yeah.
And he was red-faced.
He was. He had a very red face.
And you said, "What have you got? High blood pressure?" And I said, "What? You got a solarium, or do you work outside?" He's like, "Nah." It's like, my God.
You could see how red it was from. He was in the middle of the room. He was a long way away.
Man, they got a huge laugh when you said that.
Well, they drop in to see him at the lumberyard and all think he's having a heart attack. He was very, very red-faced. But anyway,
then towards the end of my gig, the flano table sitting down the front, the guy said, who was the guy that wasn't giving us much? Cam or Ben or Dan? Or Ben?
I think it was another Dan.
Dan, who said, and his mate said, his name's Shitter. And I said, what? He goes, his nickname's Shitter. I said, does he spend a lot of time on the toilet? No, he's just, when he was a kid, he was a C word of a bloke. I'm like, what? What?
So he used to give everyone the shits.
He used to give everyone the shits, old Shitter. Anyway, this guy that was giving us all this information suddenly got up. I go, well, where are you going, mate? He goes, I've got to pick up my daughter from the pub. She works there. I go, how old is she, 12? Anyway, as he walked out, I said, that's right, go pick up your daughter. You've only had about 8 beers. It'll be fine.
Well, he was the brother of Dan, who turned out to be an old acquaintance of ours.
Ah, is it Dan's brother?
Yes.
Right.
And Dan used to do a bit of comedy.
Dan used to do comedy, that's right. And he got bashed in America.
He got...
King hit at an ATM.
And about 8 years ago, it was a very nice story, because about 8 years ago, we did a comedy night for him at the Comics Lounge in North Melbourne, a benefit night.
Yeah.
Because it had left him with huge debts and everything else. But it allowed him the funds to go back to America and bring his American girlfriend out, and they're now married, 2 kids living in Leongatha. Very happy.
She's from Nashville.
Nashville,
she lives in Leongatha.
Yeah.
Which I've always thought is the Nashville of Australia.
Well, there'd be plenty of flannel, I'd reckon,
country capital
in Nashville. But that was nice, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's a nice guy. He was at the one Thaggy gig I did with Tom Seagate and Billy Stiles, which was just on the debrief recently.
Was it?
Oh, yes, Des. Where Tom Seagate showed, people have that secret super skill.
Oh, yeah.
Billy Stiles' secret power was he knows where every celebrity's from.
Yep.
So you go, Michael Klim. He goes, Michael Klim's from Sandringham.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and
that's handy.
Tom Seagate's secret skill was he's learned off by heart the last quarter of like the 1988 grand final because it was the only VHS he had as a kid. So he can do the whole grand final.
Just commentate it.
Yeah, he does a whole commentary. What's your secret power, Des? Do you have a secret power?
I know a lot of quotes from Withnail and I.
Yeah. I was just telling you because last night I went and saw Richard E. Grant, who is a great actor. He was in the Spice Girl movies. He was in that great movie with Melissa McCarthy about the drunk.
I never saw that. Have you seen that? I heard it was really good.
They got nominated for Oscars.
I was going to say it was an Oscar film.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It's about a woman who faked letters, wrote fake letters.
Yes, I remember, and it's a true story.
Yeah, famous authors. Yeah. And that's Melissa McCarthy, and Richard E. Grant plays her drunken friend, and he's very funny in it. Anyway, because I'm like you, I'm a big fan of the movie Withnail and I, which he's Withnail in it.
Yeah.
And he came out at the start. This was at the Arts Centre in Melbourne. He did a one-man show, and he came out in the Withnail jacket and said the famous quote, "I'm going to come back here, buy this joint, and sack the fucking lot of you."
Pound for pound, one of the best. I put it up there. Raising Arizona.
Raising Arizona. We got similar taste tests.
Another.
Here's me thinking we don't have much in common.
Other than
Raising Arizona. I just remember the line. And because he would rob 7-Elevens.
Yeah,
and he goes,
I
found myself driving past them late at night. And he says, Raising Arizona is a very good movie.
I like when he robs and the trouble is in isolation they sound shit. Oh, bloody hell.
That guy's smelly.
Someone went past 140. When he says he's holding up the 7-Eleven and he wants to get stuff for the baby. And
That's
he goes,
right.
"Give me some of them balloons. Do they blow up into funny shapes?" And he goes, "Not unless round is funny."
So out of the Coen brother movies, what is your favourite Coen brother movie? I'd be interested to...
I reckon it, because Holly Hunter is amazing. That is very early, that one. A lot of people... I mean, I never got into The Big Lebowski.
I love The Big Lebowski.
It's a good film, but I know...
what about Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yeah, that's good.
I love that. I never liked Fargo.
Oh, the series, TV series.
The series
Fargo
meant to be great, but the TV show I found too violent. The movie... I love Barton Fink. I thought Barton Fink was very good. Yeah, Barton
Fink was very good.
Okay,
hang on. Did they do the Jim Carrey, Me, Myself, I?
No, that's the Farrelly brothers. Who I interviewed once. Yeah. I interviewed Peter Farrelly. Mate, he did Dumb and Dumber. They did Dumb and Dumber.
That's right.
They're brothers that direct, and so one stands with the actors and one stands at the monitor. Yeah, they did. So they've done some good movies. Dumb and Dumber is one of the funniest.
Well,
I know quotes from that. He must work out.
Is it Adam McKay who does all
The Big Short? But
is he the one who does all the 40-year-old? Does he do those?
No, that's Judd Apatow.
Because
Adam McKay's like he did The Big Short. He did that great movie about that guy who worked with George Bush. Which you think, how good's this going to be? But it was a very good movie. Can't remember his name.
Steve Carell was saying they all do. Those guys, a lot of them do that where the voice of God, they talk over a speaker, and they ad lib. They tell them things to ad lib when they're all riffing. That'd be be fun to hear them doing that.
No, Peter Farrelly, the guy from Dumb and Dumber.
We're going.
He also his biggest movie was Cameron Diaz with the thing in her hair.
Oh yeah, Something About Mary.
Yeah, that was their biggest film.
That's a very good film.
It was their biggest film. But they had quite a few flops. They did that one with the Siamese twins, Matt Damon and Greg Kinnear.
Yeah,
God. Had the great quote when he woke up in the morning. He goes, "What were you doing last night?" It was like sleeping with a paint shaking machine. Because he was touching himself, Des.
Matt Dillon.
But that had what's the name in it? Meryl Streep was very funny in that movie.
Matt Dillon in Something About Mary. Very good.
Who was he in that?
He was the bad guy.
That's right.
Who was the private investigator who falls in love with Mary and wants to be...
Yeah.
We could talk about funny films all night.
Anyway, why are we talking about that? So With No Lie, I can hit me with a few With No Lie quotes.
No, I can't because you just...
No, go on. Just one.
No,
just one.
What is...
Because Richard E. Grant said some of his favourite ones.
I have a heart condition. If you hit me, it will be murder.
That's right.
What else? I've got a bastard behind the eyes when he had a hangover. There's
I've got a bastard. And what's the carrot?
The carrot. There's nothing. There's a certain je ne sais quoi about a firm young carrot.
Well,
gay Uncle Monty.
Uncle Monty, don't fight it, boy.
In order to get a weekend away, just for those that don't know, Richard E. Grant's character tells Uncle Monty that his friend Paul McGann, who we never find out his name, is a toilet trader, and Uncle Monty decides to join them at the
and seduce them.
Very good.
Hang on. So, what other comedy films do you put up there, Des? What's your top five?
Fuck,
you don't have to.
Well, I'm just trying to give me a second.
So that's a good British one. That's very good.
I've watched a bit. I watched Anchorman again the other day. That is very.
I don't know.
I just something about
Will Ferrell is very funny.
If I want,
He's
if
very
I'm
funny.
bored, I will jump on
Yes.
YouTube and watch his outtakes because they're always as funny, if not
Him and
funnier
Old
than the
School
film.
is very funny.
Yes, the basketball one was very good too.
Oh, I haven't seen that. I like Will Ferrell. Well, what about Napoleon Dynamite?
The what?
Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh, yes, that was one. Was
Yeah.
another.
Idiot.
Yeah, that was one that came from nowhere. You
Yeah.
watched it and went, "This is just one of the
Mormons
best."
made it. The Mormon couple made it.
Well, we were talking before things like Hunt for the Wilder People's
very funny.
There's a great Kiwi one with Jermaine Clement called Eagle versus Shark.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
yes,
I've seen
which
that.
is a very early.
Right.
I can never say his name. I think it's very early of the.
Waka Tahiti.
That's it.
I've interviewed. I did the conversation out on ABC with him when he had Boy out. Boy's a very good movie too.
Yes.
And he kept saying, and of course, ABC, no one had told me who else I was on with. No one had sent me a trailer of his movie or anything. I didn't even know what it was about. And he kept saying, yeah, this movie. And I said, who else is in? He goes, there's a very good actor who plays the father of the boy, Taka Waititi. I think he's going to go far, this guy. I'm like, oh, is he good? Is he? That was him. He was talking about himself. He was joking. But he was a comedian, Taka Waititi.
Oh,
he was a stand-up.
Unbelievable. I didn't ever think I'd watch Marvel's Thor.
Oh, yeah.
And I watched it and found myself laughing out loud.
He plays the big rock guy.
And he does. And Chris Hemsworth, I would love to see him, Chris Hemsworth as Bond with the other guy directing. Because I think it'd be, with his sensibilities, they could make it might be too funny for people because obviously the Bond fans would lynch us. But
are there any of them left? Be old, wouldn't they? The Bond fans these days.
He does great comedy, Chris Hemsworth. Very funny.
Oh, is he funny?
Yeah, I think he's very funny. You haven't watched either of the Thor ones?
Yeah, I thought he was good in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've watched Thor. Yeah,
he just delivers a deadpan line.
Yes.
Self-deprecating.
Mate.
Very good.
The Hemsworth brothers. When we went to Byron Bay, me and Glenn Robbins, the Hemsworth brothers are big Russell Coight fans.
Oh,
and
right.
Liam Hemsworth came along to the gig. So he's another Hollywood star.
Yeah.
Not the short one who was in Westworld.
No, the Hunger Games. My daughter's obsessed with the Hunger Games. She loves it.
So he came along and he's sitting there and Glenn's like, so where do you live, Liam? He's like, man, fuck, he lives in Hollywood. Then he's like, do you have a girlfriend? And he goes, I just broke up with her. I'm like, it's Miley Cyrus was his girlfriend. And then Glenn's like, where did you live in LA? And I'm like, he lived in Malibu. She wrote a song called Malibu about him. Anyway.
Well, I said a rare gig where I got to sit up the front of the plane going to the Gold Coast, and I thought, gee, this guy must be someone because he was massive and had a baseball cap and just looked, unbelievably fit. And it was Chris Hemsworth sitting two seats across. But that weekend was when he bought that massive block that they built their mansion on, because there was a photo in the paper 2 days later that they'd bought it. But I was imagining him, if we hit a lot of turbulence and everyone was panicking, like people were screaming, and I looked up and he was just very calm. He knew it wasn't his
Thor,
time.
mate. He's Thor. Couldn't he jump out of the aircraft and hold the...
Well, I was imagining him carrying me out if we crashed. Me pretending to be a sort of unconscious.
Well, we should do our questions, Des.
What question? So long since I've done it, Dave.
I've done the debrief. Well, what went well tonight and why, Des?
I think there's a lot of good crowd. There was enough eccentric, funny people.
My God,
the third person on the bill was the Leongatha locals.
Oh God, yeah. Really. What didn't go well?
We didn't get offered any of the chips that were handed out on the tables.
True.
A lot of
they had these huge bowls of chips
being put on everyone's table.
Also, I don't know if you noticed towards the end, party pies and sausage rolls came out. But not one for the artistes.
Nothing out in the green room.
We got a bottle of water each.
I would hate Cam to feel bad about that.
No,
Cam,
that's Cam
it
for
was
listening.
okay,
You
mate.
looked after us.
It was fine, but
I
just
got a can of lemonade.
a little packet of chips would have been good.
We don't want a lot.
So that was the only thing. Everything else was good.
Any organisational hazards get in the way?
It was a massive stage.
Yeah, it was weird. That
and
stage.
not stage as in high. It was deep. It was the deepest stage.
Could have done South Pacific on there.
Out of proportion for the size of the room.
Yeah.
Whoever built it was very lazy, or their buzzsaw wasn't working, because they should have cut every plank in half.
Look, Des, everything is 47 minutes estimated travel time. I think the computer's broken.
Because that is.
Computer says no.
It's already 11. It's already 10 to 12, Dave.
Talk about the flashing. Oh no, I'm tired.
I've got to keep driving out into the Macedon Ranges.
And how can we do better next time, Des?
Again, going to Gippsland, I watched the GPS rather than listening to you. It was a pain in the ass.
We went to back streets.
Back streets of Kui Rup or somewhere.
God.
So just got to stop listening.
Go with your heart.
I got to find my Melways.
Yeah.
Get that out.
Except that wouldn't have country in it, probably.
Yeah, but
there's a country section. There used to be.
Balance it on my knee and
yes.
Look down a lot.
Anyway, Des Dowling, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, Dave, it was fun. We had a good
debrief.
We haven't had a gig for a while.
No, we haven't.
No. Thanks,
but
everyone.
we'll work again.
We
one
will.
day.